Blackwood Miners Institute has been many things to many people over the past 100 years. At the end of the 1980s, the building that was loved and cared for by the community had unfortunately fallen into disrepair. In 1990, the current trustees, under instruction from the Charities Commission, transferred the ownership of the historic building into the care of Isloyne Borough Council, later to become part of Caerphilly County Borough Council, to transform the building into the thriving professional arts centre that it is today. The following video contains footage taken of the final days of the Institute before it was passed over to the Council in 1990.
This is Mrs. Eileen Agland, who's worked at the premises as manageress for approximately 12 years. Mrs. Agland, what do you think of the forthcoming closure of the Miners Welfare Institute?
Oh, I'm very sad about it, but well, times have got to go on, haven't they? Very, very sad, you know. I feel sorry for the boys.
Do you think it's going to affect the community at large, or?
Oh, I think so, yes.
Yeah.
I think they're going to be very unhappy about it.
In what way? So they have nowhere else to go?
There's nowhere much for them to go, is there? I mean, it's only here they got, all the pubs. And some of them are too young to go to the pubs. And I mean, they really enjoy it down here, don't they?
Yeah. What is the clientele then now? Do we get a lot of customers here, or?
Well, yes, back in the winter, but of course it's quiet now.
Yeah.
This was summer season.
Of course, Mrs. Agland, there may be an end of an era as far as the Blackwood Miners Welfare Institute is concerned, as it is now. But with the forthcoming takeover of the Isloyne Borough Council, do you not think it'll have some long-term good effects as well? Will the council do anything, do you think, to uphold the name of the building?
Yeah, I think so, yes.
Yeah.
I think it will get advanced and we'll have more facilities here, you know, for the youngsters as well.
Right. So, I mean, we're looking at it more as, not as much as an end of an era, but probably the beginning of an era as well.
Beginning of a new era, yes, I should imagine. I mean, time has got to go on, hasn't it, you know, and you can't just stand still.
This is Mr. John Elstone, the Vice Chairman of Blackwood Institute. He'll be taking us on the guided tour of the old Blackwood Miners Welfare Institute. So, Mr. Elstone, what room do we start in?
Well, this used to be the old reading room. At one time there were tables and chairs all around here and stands where all the daily papers were came, and the miners used to come in here to read the paper before they went to work in the afternoon or on the night shift.
How long is it since this room has been used, Mr. Elstone?
Well, I would think about 12 or 15 years.
Right, as we come into the old library room, this is a rather large part of the history of this building, which made this building so popular, Mr. Elstone.
Yes, this library was used from the opening of the building until about 15 years ago, when the County Library took over in Blackwood, and so there was no further use for this. But the room has been used for other purposes over the years.
What happened to all the books and writing?
Most of the books were given away to hospitals and different institutions that needed them.
So it did benefit the community at large.
Yes.
Right. On to the second floor, Mr. Elstone.
Yes, this is the floor that the dance hall was.
Right.
And this is a fire that we are hoping that Minister by the Council spending the money on it, that can be done up to its past glory.
Now we're in the main dance hall, or up on the balcony looking down on the main dance hall. You can see what a marvellous building it was, and why I believe, Mr. Elstone, it was quite a place to come on a Saturday night.
Oh yes, this is where everything was going on Saturday nights, Wednesday night, Tuesday nights, old time dancing and modern.
We see a partition on the left-hand side. What's the purpose of that?
Well, that was what they call the annex. There was 2 bars in there at one time, licensed bars, and quite a bit used to go on here for the dancing and one thing and another, and concerts, and there was a bar here in the corner, and that's another bar up the top of there.
Right, let's go down and have a look on ground level then. Now we're downstairs in the dance hall and we can see the quite awesome size for a place like Blackwood for this hall to have. Must have taken quite a large seating capacity. On a normal dance evening or opera night, how many people would you expect in here, Mr. Elstone?
Well, we have had 1,000 people in here for a dance.
Really?
Of course, it'd been pretty crowded at that time, because all the big bands used to come here. And for the opera, we have 400 on the dance floor and 120 seats up in the balcony upstairs.
Must be quite a wonderful experience.
Oh yes, it was really nice for the place. So.
Right, we're coming up onto the top floor now.
Yes, we'll go into the lecture hall first. Now this room was used for meetings and also the operatic practice here. That's the old piano down there that they used to practice with.
Right, as we walk across the third floor, we come to what most people, or I would say you committee members, would say is the heart of the Institute. Where are we going, Mr. Elstone?
Yes, this is the committee room here. This is where all the business of the Institute was discussed. And I'd like you to take notice of that chair over there. There was a chair that was presented from the Eisteddfod to the Institute. I think it was 1928. Yes, it was 1928, and it was presented to be shown here, and it has stood in this committee room ever since.
Also, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you for showing us around the Institute this afternoon. But it certainly was a lovely building, we can see that, and the atmosphere must have been magnificent here. What are your hopes for its immediate future?
Well, I and the other trustees are hoping that when the Spring Borough Council take it over, that they will fetch the building back to its original standard, and that it will be a benefit to the community for many, many years to come.